Hello, my friends, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're just another short video about failing upwards. There appears to be a lot of it happening right now, despite a number of really large flops. Now, part of the reason for this is straight up nepotism. Fact of the matter is, once you work in one of these businesses, it gives you loads of connections. People make friends, and people want their friends to work with them. Realistically, it's one of the reasons why large corporations have a tendency to grow beyond what they can afford. Because at some point, they find they have more money than they can actually spend, so they start bringing in people they don't actually need to justify the expenditures, not to mention tax write-offs, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of reasons for it. But when that happens, you end up with some guy who says, yeah, my brother's aunt's best friend's dog walker can do this thing for us, so why don't we bring them in? And the people at the top go, we have the money, and that sounds like something we could use, so let's go ahead and do that. And then you end up with huge bloated teams, people doing things that don't actually need to be done. And you also end up with things like people hiring consultancy firms that don't actually need to be used for the thing they're consulting on. However, in this case, we're looking at cases where people's friends probably got them jobs after they totally destroyed another franchise. First off, and I'm sure you've heard about this, is Corin Bush. He has been hired by, and unfortunately this is in no way surprising, Wizards of the Coast hired him to work at Skeleton Key Studio. Now, what is Skeleton Key Studio? That is the new game branch for Wizards of the Coast. They are going to be making video games, D&D related and so forth. As you know, Larian Studios will not be making any more Baldur's Gate, so they had to obviously pivot and create their own division. Next up on the list of failing upwards, this is one of those where I know I almost always preach wait and see. Because you never know what's going to happen when something comes out, what the result is. And at the time we first heard about Ghost of Yotei, I was very much in the wait and see. There was possibilities, there was maybes, because all we knew at that point was a voice actress and that it was a female protagonist. And I know for some people that is more than enough for them to say, nope, I'm done. And that's regardless of the other issues they may have with it, the fact that it's not Jin and all sorts of other reasons. Now, unfortunately, the reason I say this is very likely just totally a write-off at this point is the fact that while Bioware laid off a number of writers and stuff from Veilguard, a number of them have now popped up over at Sucker Punch to write for Ghost of Yotei. Apparently, it is being co-written by John Dombrow and Courtney Woods, both of whom who worked on Dragon Age the Veilguard. I have not played the Veilguard. I refuse to play the Veilguard. And while there may have been good parts of the Veilguard, I am unaware of them. And personally, I doubt they wrote them. If there were any good parts, I'm pretty sure that BioWare and EA kept those writers and let the rest go. Or at least if they were smart, they would. But at the same time, who knows? Who knows? But in the end, at this stage, I would have absolutely no faith in what's going to happen with Ghost of Yotei. And finally, and the one that really just shocks the shit out of me, former Concord Director of Marketing and Operations joins Halo Studios as Senior Product Marketing Manager. I will say on one hand, at least these people aren't getting jobs that are unrelated to what they've done in the past, but they all seem to be getting slight upgrades in their jobs, except for Bush, who is just really making a lateral move from game director to game director. So realistically, that doesn't matter. The other two have gone from just writing on Dragon Age to being co-writers named in the game. And this one has gone from director of marketing to senior product marketing manager. Now, I'm not really sure if that's a lateral. That would depend on the whole structure of the entire game. But between the way Concord was marketed and the overall lack of success, I would definitely say this is a failure upwards, or at least not a failure downwards. For Pamela, I'm not even going to try to say her last name because I'm going to be honest, I'm going to fuck it up. But Pamela is probably really glad to have this job. Now, personally, I haven't played much Halo since, when it first came out, we'll be entirely honest. And knowing my memory, I don't remember very well when that was. But I have not heard positive reactions in terms of where the series has gone in recent years. And I certainly haven't heard positive reactions in terms of the new teasers and stuff that have come out since they've become Halo Studios. And while I'm sure for many people this is probably just more depressing news, more things that you loved that are being destroyed, more things that are probably just not going to be very good, I would like to also point out that on the plus side, it should help usher in the final downfall of AAA gaming, which I am all here for. With everything else going on right now, I have zero issues with AAA gaming laying itself to rest and allowing the new batch of games, amazing games, to come out and take our attention versus the fact that they've held it for so long despite no way deserving it at this point in time. AAA gaming has taken everything that they had, everything that they made, and flushed it down the toilet for reasons that they thought would make them money, but the reasons weren't in the end that they were trying to make the people who buy their games happy. If anything, they were trying to find an audience away from the people who already bought their games and decided that they didn't need us. Decided that they could break into a wider market, a more generalized market, and that people would flock to them. And they're learning the hard way that they were very wrong. And they deserve this lesson. One can hope that going forward, other studios will take this lesson to heart and not repeat the same mistakes, but it's going to happen again. It's just the way the world works. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does often rhyme, as they like to say. But I know this is, again, a really short video. I'm sure we'll get into longer stuff as I get warmed back up. But just more stuff to keep in mind. We'll keep an eye on where things go. In this case, I mean, I don't have any hope for any of these things. So it is what it is. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I look forward to reading what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. If you really liked it, you can feel free to share it around, and I will catch you later.